This is the WiMiUS G1 smart outdoor projector, and I've been using it as a grab-and-go big screen setup for movies, shows, and the occasional backyard night. From my experience, the pitch here is simple. A compact 1080p projector that you can plug in, let it auto-adjust, and start streaming right away without juggling extra dongles. The headline is Google TV built-in, real autofocus and auto keystone, surprisingly punchy 20-watt speakers with Dolby audio, and Wi-Fi 6 plus Bluetooth 5.2 for modern connectivity. Setup was refreshingly quick. I plugged it in, connected to Wi-Fi, signed into my Google account, and the G1 handled the rest. The autofocus and auto keystone locked in within seconds, and smart screen alignment got the image neatly framed on my screen. It even shrank the picture to avoid a wall decoration, which was a neat touch of smart obstacle avoidance. If you're new to projectors, keystone is what squares the image when you're not projecting head-on, and autofocus is exactly what it sounds like, no manual wheel fiddling. I kept electric focus controls handy in the menu, but I barely needed them. Key features that stand out start with image quality. The panel is native 1080p, and it accepts 4K input, then downscales to 1080p. That means those 4K files and streams still look clean and sharp on this projector. HDR10 support gives colors more punch and better contrast, so bright highlights and darker scenes have a bit more depth than typical budget units. The brightness rating is 1000 ANSI lumens, which is important because ANSI is the standardized way to measure brightness. In practical use, it holds up nicely in a room with blinds partly open, and at night it looks vibrant. I keep high brightness during daytime and switch to eco at night to reduce fan noise and save power. If you're planning a giant screen in a bright room, manage expectations. Ambient light still washes out projectors, but for living rooms and bedrooms, it's more than serviceable. The sound surprised me. I normally assume projector speakers are an afterthought, but the 20-watt stereo setup here is clear and louder than I expected, and Dolby audio helps avoid harshness at higher volumes. I watched an action movie and dialogue stayed intelligible without me cranking the volume. I did hook up a soundbar with HDMI ARC for a movie night. ARC sends audio back through the same HDMI cable to a compatible soundbar, and it was seamless. Bluetooth is two-way, so I paired my headphones for late-night viewing, and also tried using the G1 as a standalone Bluetooth speaker with the projection off. Both worked without stutters. Streaming on Google TV felt smooth throughout my testing. I used YouTube, Prime Video, Disney+, Apple TV, and a few others without needing an external streaming stick. Being able to stick with one remote and one interface is the difference between using the projector often and letting it collect dust. I like how Google TV pulls recommendations across apps and how the For You Sports tab surfaces live games quickly. The voice button on the remote was handy for searching titles, and I loved using my phone's keyboard through the Google Home app to type passwords and show names. Casting from my phone worked as expected, and Wi-Fi 6 kept high bitrate streams steady. I also tried multi-user profiles and the Kids mode. For anyone sharing the G1, separate watch lists are great, and Kids mode lets you pick which apps are available and set time limits. If you're lending the projector to family or setting it up in a shared space, those controls save you from constantly editing settings. Port-wise, I used HDMI for a streaming box test and a console, USB for local media, and the 3.5mm jack to check headphone latency. With 1080p 60 content, motion looks smooth, and for casual gaming it's fine. In my opinion, you'll feel a bit of input lag if you play competitive shooters. It didn't bother me in single-player adventure games, but I switched back to a TV for online matches. The G1 doesn't promise ultra-low latency gaming, so set your expectations accordingly. The build feels solid for its class. The gray finish looks premium, and it doesn't scream cheap plastic box. It's light enough to move from room to room, and I mounted it on a tripod using the standard thread without issues. There's a removable filter that makes maintenance easier, which is smart because dust buildup is the enemy of small projectors. The package included a remote, HDMI cable, power cord, and a little cleaning kit. Just note you'll need 2 AAA batteries for the remote. Also, there's no internal battery. That means for outdoor use you'll need an outlet or a power station. I ran it off an extension cord in the backyard and it did great, but it's not a battery-powered unit. From my experience, brightness claims on projectors can be all over the place. The G1's 1000 ANSI spec feels credible in real use. Colors look lively, and skin tones stay natural with a bit of tweaking. I used the picture presets to dial in a balanced look, and then didn't touch them again. The zoom control in the menu helped me fit the image to a fixed screen without moving the projector, and sleep timer was a nice add for late nights. The overall vibe is set it once and let it do its thing. It's perfect for someone who wants an all-in-one streaming projector that doesn't require extra gear or constant adjustments. If you want to throw on movies, binge shows, watch sports on a big wall, and occasionally roll it outside, it really fits that lifestyle. I'd recommend this for apartment setups, dorm rooms, family rooms, and anyone who values convenience. If your priority is a reference-grade home theater with advanced lens controls, ultra-high contrast, and calibrated color science, this isn't trying to be that. It's a practical, modern projector that nails daily usability. I did go in with a couple of worries. I've seen mixed reports on long-term reliability with budget projectors in general, and I can't judge years of use yet. So I kept the box just in case and made sure I knew the return window. The software on this unit has been responsive for me, but software performance can vary with updates, so I'll keep an eye on it. I also checked for dust spots or panel issues out of the box and didn't find any. If you're buying, give it a quick test on a white screen right away and contact support if you spot anything odd. There's an after-sales email printed in the materials, support@WiMiUS.com, which is good to have on hand. Key features that made the biggest difference for me are the licensed Google TV experience that removes the need for a separate streamer, the fast autofocus and auto keystone that makes setup painless, the 20-watt Dolby audio that's actually enjoyable, the two-way Bluetooth for both headphones and speaker mode, and the Wi-Fi 6 connection that kept high-quality streams smooth. None of these are flashy on their own, but together, they're what let me use the G1 every day without tinkering. In my opinion, the G1 earns its place because it prioritizes the stuff people actually use. It doesn't inflate brightness with vague numbers, it doesn't hide basic streaming behind clunky workarounds, and it doesn't demand that you learn a bunch of manual adjustments. It's a simple, friendly projector that still checks the boxes. 1080p with 4K support, HDR10, ARC for clean soundbar hookup, Bluetooth 5.2, and a smart OS that behaves like a modern TV. In conclusion, the WiMiUS G1 feels like a well-rounded, everyday projector that's easy to live with. If you value quick setup, built-in streaming, good speakers, and solid brightness for casual use, this hits a sweet spot. Keep power access in mind for outdoor nights, expect casual rather than competitive gaming performance, and do your initial QC check when it arrives. Beyond that, it's been a reliable, enjoyable part of my home setup. To learn more about the WiMiUS G1, please check the comments section. Thank you for watching.